The Road to Character by David Brooks. Introduction, Part 3. The Plan. The plan of this book is simple. In the next chapter, I'll describe an older moral ecology. It was a cultural and intellectual tradition, the crooked timber tradition, that emphasized our own brokenness. It was a tradition that demanded humility in the face of our own limitations, but it was also a tradition that held that each of us has the power to confront our own weakness, tackle our own sins, and that in the course of this confrontation within ourselves, we build character. By successfully confronting sins and weakness, we have the chance to play our role in a great moral drama. We can shoot for something higher than happiness. We have a chance to take advantage of everyday occasions to build virtue in ourselves and be of service to the world. Then, I will describe what this character building method looks like in real life. I'm going to do this through biographical essays, which are also moral essays. Since moralists have tried to communicate certain standards by upholding exemplars, you can't build rich Adam 2 lives by simply reading sermons or following abstract rules. Example is the best teacher. Moral improvement occurs most reliably when the heart is warmed. When we come into contact with people we admire and love, and we consciously and unconsciously bend our lives to mimic theirs. This truth was hammered home to me after I wrote a column expressing frustration with how hard it is to use a classroom experience to learn how to be good. A veterinarian named Dave Jolly sent me an email that cut to the chase. The heart cannot be taught in a classroom intellectually to students mechanically taking notes. Good, wise hearts are obtained through lifetimes of diligent effort to dig deeply within and heal a lifetime of scars. You can't teach it or email it or tweet it. It has to be discovered within the depths of one's own heart. When a person is finally ready to go looking for it, and not before, the job of the wise person is to swallow the frustration and just go on setting an example of caring and digging and diligence in their own lives. What a wise person teaches is the smallest part of what they give. The totality of their life, of the way they go on about it, and the smallest details is what gets transmitted. Never forget that. The message is the person, perfected over lifetimes of effort that was set in motion by yet another wise person, now hidden from the recipient by the dim mist of time. Life is much bigger than we think, cause and effect, intertwined in a vast moral structure that keeps pushing us to do better, become better, even when we dwell in the most painful, confused darkness. Those words explain the methodology of this book. The subjects of the portraits that follow in chapters 2 through 10 are a diverse set, white and black, male and female, religious and secular, literary and non-literary. None of them is even close to perfect, but they practice a mode of living that is less common now. They are acutely aware of their own weakness. They wage an eternal struggle against their sins and emerge with some measure of self-respect. And when we think of them, it is not primarily what they accomplish that we remember. Great though that they may have been, it is also who they were. I'm hoping their examples will fire this fearful longing we all have to be better, to follow their course. In the final chapter, I wrap these themes up. I describe how our culture has made it harder to be good, and I summarize this crooked timber approach to life in a series of specific points. If you are impatient for the condensed message of this book, skip to the end. Occasionally, even today, you come across certain people who seem to possess an impressive inner cohesion. They are not leading fragmented, scattershot lives. They have achieved inner integration. They are calm, settled, and rooted. They are not blown off course by storms. They don't crumble in adversity. Their minds are consistent, and their hearts are dependable. Their virtues are not the blooming virtues you see in smart college students. They are the ripening virtues you see in people who have lived a little and have learned from joy and pain. Sometimes you don't even notice these people because while they seem kind and cheerful, they are also reversed. They possess the self-effectuating virtues of people who are inclined to be useful but don't need to prove anything to the world. Humility, restraint, resistance, temperance, respect, and soft self-discipline. They radiate a sort of moral joy. They answer softly when challenged harshly. They are silent when unfairly abused. They are dignified when others try to humiliate them, restrained when others try to provoke them. But they get things done. They perform acts of sacrificial service with the same modest everyday spirit they would display if they were just getting the groceries. They are not thinking about what impressive work they are doing. They're not thinking about themselves at all. They just seem delighted by the flawed people around them. They just recognize what needs doing and they do it. They make you feel funnier and smarter when you speak with them. They move through different social classes, not even aware, it seems, that they are doing so. After you know them for a while, it occurs to you that you've never heard them boast. You've never seen them self-righteous or usually certain. They are dropping little hints of their own distinctiveness and accomplishments. They have not led lives of conflict-free tranquility, but have struggled towards maturity. They have gone some way towards solving life's essential problem, which is that, as Alexander Solzhenitsyn put it, the line separating good and evil passes not through states, nor between classes, nor between political parties either, but right through every human heart. These are the people who have built a strong inner character, who have achieved a certain depth, and these people, at the end of the struggle, the climb to success has surrendered to the struggle to deepen the soul. After a life of seeking balance, Adam 1 bows down before Adam 2. These are the people we are looking for.